going over to the camera now. And yeah, we're getting to see the divers who are getting prepared. And they're starting to get ready, talking to the safeties. You can see the diver is in this lane. This is lane D. So we are looking at Yu Hei-mi. She's from the 빌리다이브 team. And the man in red next to her with the suit on, he's one of our safety divers. You can see a number of the people wearing orange. They are our safety divers today. That's where freediving, even though it's a sport of not breathing in the water, it's a surprisingly safe sport, actually. A lot of people are surprised to know. We have very few injuries because of the things in place for safety. And here we can see a number of safety divers in the back as well. You see all of those guys. There's a couple of lady safety divers as well, and their designs, they're just to keep the divers safe and to make sure that if anything happens, hopefully nothing will, but if anything happens, that the diver will be fine. Yeah, our 9시 반? 지금 2분. I've just heard the announcement. We've got 1 minute before our first dive starts. And you can see that this diver here, she's putting on her facial equipment. Now, different divers wear different amounts of facial equipment. It's really up to the diver for what they find to be comfortable or not. Some people will wear a full mask. She, you can see, is wearing goggles and a nose clip. The other divers wear whatever they find comfortable. As you can see, this diver here, I think that's lane A, that's Lee Youngju. She's wearing nothing at all. And we've got about 30 seconds for our first dive type. 15 seconds they've just announced. And when the dive starts, the divers will actually have 30 seconds from when the top time is called to when they need to have their head in the water, and they can put their head in at any point in those 30 seconds to get started. Alright, so we're watching these divers, and first head in the water. I'm going to go ahead and start my stopwatch with them as well, just so we can kind of follow along. Now, each of the divers, of course, are going to be on a slightly different time, so I won't have exact official times for them, but we'll have a general idea of what's happening. And what we're looking at now is just the divers doing their best to stay relaxed. That's really what a static breath hold is. Static breath hold is very mental. And that's what these divers are dealing with. There's not a lot of movement involved, as you can see, because any movement uses oxygen, of course. And we want to conserve oxygen as much as possible. So these divers are right now just going through some mental exercises. Everyone kind of does their own thing. A lot of people do different meditation techniques or sing songs to themselves. There's a number. But maybe later today we'll get some interviews from some of these divers to see what they individually do. So this dive is coming up for a minute and a half, and these divers have announced Lee Youngju in lane A, she's the one in the silver on the bottom right of your screen. She announced a 2-minute time, and Hei-mi in the top left of your screen has announced 2:45. Now that's just what their announced time is. That's not what they're actually going to do. This is basically just saying, like, I want to do at least this amount. And so right now they're pushing to what they feel capable of and what they feel comfortable of doing. Now you can see in the top with Haimi that her coach is there next to her. Actually, you can see both of the coaches, and they're there kind of to help them focus, to help them calm down, as well as for safety, even though that job is primarily to the official safety divers. They know their divers best, and so they're there to help them make sure that everything is going as well as possible with those divers. And we're nearing on about 3 minutes for each of these dives, approximately. So they've both passed their announced performance. We can see now it looks like Haimi in the blue, she's starting to feel the CO2 building up in her body right now. No, this doesn't mean that she's immediately coming up. That was a safety check, actually. You see that finger coming up. Either her coach or the safety diver, I couldn't see which, was basically making sure, are you okay? And she's responding, yep, I'm fine. And they're doing the same thing here. They're both preparing to end their dive, but just holding on for the last little bits to see where they can get to. And we can see the judges here are looking really close because they want to make sure that they know exactly when her airways, her nose and mouth, come out of the water. That's when the dive ends, when they are able to start breathing again. And then they'll be doing a surface protocol, which I'll explain when it happens. It's to make sure that they are, in fact, okay. Alright, our first diver is up out of the water, approximately 4 minutes and 20 seconds, but we'll get an official time. She looked quite clean there. As you can see, she came up, she gave the OK symbol. And that's just to show the judges that are there that she is okay, that she's not having any problems. It's something that we do in freediving competitions, just kind of as a safety okay check. Oh, looks like we've also had Haimi come up. I'm sure she did her check as well. Both of these divers look very clean, very comfortable.